All right, welcome in here on this Tuesday morning as we get the week rolling here over at Tingle & Co. We have a packed studio live from our Southern Regional Medical Center studios here at SRMC. Shout out to Jason, Charles, BJ, Kevin, the whole team.
Jason's got to get we got to get some picks right.
Yep, and Jason, I tell you what, Jason and Charles were up and at him at the basketball game last night. We went to
feet on the floor.
Went to halftime. Jason's up.
Love that.
I love it. I tell you what, it got me more invested in the game watching Jason's investment on the sideline.
Literally.
Side. Yeah, literally. But yeah, no. Shout out to our guys over here at Southern Regional Medical Center. But we are packed house. Christian's here. Lloyd, Wyatt. Zoomed out a little bit on camera.
Yeah, it looks like y'all have officially given up on me for hosting. That's nice. That's cool.
No, that's right. You're about to zoom in on you right here.
Am I?
About to get
Good print?
Christian.
What?
What, behind you? Yeah, it's an original, one of one.
It's actually a great painting right behind you.
It is.
It's not a print, though. There you go. That's better. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right, now you happy?
Looking good.
Yep. But good morning to all of you. We appreciate everybody getting in here and joining us here on this Tuesday morning as they start their weeks. But let's get right into it. Obviously, yesterday, Frank Wilson met with the media. We've got sound. We will play some of that for you all. He updated some injuries as Whit Weeks and
ready to go.
Nick Anderson had some updates. Nick Anderson's update is positive. I was surprised to hear that. I was very, very nervous when Nick Anderson went down Saturday night. It did not look good. Obviously, somebody that's had knee injuries in the past, it didn't look good when he got helped off the field. But the injury update was positive. He does not need a procedure, and he will be day-to-day. Said that they'll monitor him this week, but not sure if he will be ready for Arkansas. He also talked about Whit Weeks, said he's hopeful. They won't put him out there until he can protect himself and play at an elite level, and then told a story about Whit. Said that obviously last week throughout practice, Whit didn't really get out on the field. And then they get to Tuscaloosa Saturday night. And pregame, Whit Weeks goes up to Frank Wilson and says, "I'm ready, coach. Put me in."
the Leonard Fournette theory.
Yeah.
He pulled it off.
Frank said he looked at him and said, "That's just the adrenaline talking."
Yeah.
He's like,
Son.
You couldn't practice yesterday, but you can play now. That's just the adrenaline. So they'll see how he continues to develop over the week and get prepared for Saturday versus Arkansas. It would be nice to see number 40 back on the football field. In other news, it's still getting a little messy around LSU, huh, Lloyd? Can't go too long.
This would be the word of the day, maybe litigious.
Litigious.
Lawyers are involved.
Yes, no, but yeah, definitely. It is
litigious.
Never a slow season when it comes to LSU. It's never a boring day. Wilson Alexander will join us at 8:30 this morning, and he'll help enlighten us all on this contract dispute deal where Brian Kelly said LSU now wants to fire him for cause and that he was never formally terminated, according to a new legal filing yesterday in Baton Rouge. Yeah.
Get the whistle back. I guess I'm still the coach.
I guess I'm still employed. Kelly denies there are grounds for firing him with cause and wants a judgment that he is owed nearly his entire $54 million buyout. So it seems like the saga will continue and might get a little messy. We will have, like we said, Wilson Alexander, 8:30 a.m. this morning as he will join us via Zoom to help enlighten us all on the situation. He put a really good write-up out about this whole contract dispute deal last night, and he will join us this morning to help elaborate some.
Well, it's we're in over our head when we call them the big guns.
Yeah.
It's like, Wilson just explained this to me like I'm 5.
Literally, I was last night, I was cutting the Frank Wilson presser up, and the notification started popping in of Wilson's tweets, because I have a handful, of the LSU beat
VIPs?
reporters, I have their notifications on just to stay up to date. And I saw Wilson was putting out write-ups, so I was like, okay. And I click on it, and I was like, just saw the title. I was like, do we talk about this tomorrow, us? Or do we call Wilson to talk about it? And I was like,
Wilson.
I feel like this is a Wilson situation.
Yeah, you seem to know more about it than I do already.
You're already well-versed, and I actually would like to learn from you.
Yes.
So I'm not even going to look anything into this.
Yeah,
Just
I
let
mean,
you
if there
teach
was
me.
somebody I was going to, cheat off in class, I would like to look at Wilson Alexander's paper,
Yeah.
if he would let me.
Yeah,
Move that
100%.
arm over a little bit.
100%.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you know it? Do you know it? Are you good? Okay.
Okay.
Bet. You're just move your arm over.
One cough for A, 2 coughs for B, 3 coughs for C, 4 for
Or kick.
2 claps, ready.
And then obviously last night, LSU men's basketball took the court versus the UNO Privateers, the Fighting Masterpiece, made their way into the PMAC last night. Like we said, Jason and Charles were there courtside enjoying the game, taking it in. President Roos was also courtside last night, got introduced at the basketball game. But I was also there. Christian was there as well.
Yes.
Christian, what were some of your takeaways from the PMAC last night?
UNO seemed to be overrated.
A little bit.
LSU struggled on offense. Deidon Thomas, though, player.
Yes, definitely. And I think we'll obviously get into the game more later on this morning. But I tell you what, it is, as someone that loves LSU men's basketball, it is tough walking into that PMAC and just seeing, especially where it was when we first sat down. Because, we walked in at maybe 6:55, right before tip-off. And, it was a ghost town.
Yeah, and then leaving as well. Leaving was really tough. You were like, oh, nobody's
Well, and
here.
there's no traffic.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
sign.
now
of,
we're complaining about no traffic.
No. I'm glad there's no traffic. It was nice. But, leaving a sporting event with no traffic just kind of sucks because that means
Let you know where you stand.
right. And
Well, I wouldn't expect there to be traffic for a game like that, but, man, there really was nobody.
nobody was in
at the
there.
game.
And I hope they can continue to stack days and get better. They won 93-58 last night. Markel Sutton 15-15. Pablo Tamba 10-10. Mike Nwoko 22-5. And then Deidon Thomas with 9 points, 8 assists. Jalen Reed had 15-7 off of the bench. So they put a well-rounded performance up last night, and they were able to get the job done, winning 93-58. I want them to continue to stack days because it's better when the PMAC is rocking. When there's people in there, there's excitement. The student section was sitting down the whole game last night. It's just God, it's heartbreaking. It could be so fun.
Section.
Right.
Really was none.
Well, it goes to show the driving force around LSU, and when one thing's not good, really nothing's good. Unless you want to go to Hammond America.
Yeah, unless you want to go to Hammond America.
Watch LSU undefeated.
Well, the women's team polls.
They do. They'll play Wednesday night against Charlotte. Somebody else that was sitting courtside last night, our guy Schwartzy, was sitting courtside watching the men's basketball team last night. He will join us tomorrow morning to preview and talk some LSU women's basketball as they play Charlotte in the PMAC tomorrow night. But obviously the talk of the town is LSU football. And Frank Wilson met with the media yesterday and gave some updates about the football team, with the biggest one being the quarterback situation. I was surprised to hear him give a kind of a somewhat definitive answer on the way they'll handle it. Lloyd, were you caught off guard? Christian, Wyatt, anyone, were y'all caught off guard by the decision to really already kind of be set on going with the 2 quarterback plan?
No, because you already seen both. I think it would be it's the right way to handle it, because what else are you going to do? People are going to say what? Nuss just isn't going to play anymore.
Right.
When you go back and look at it, the first two quarters, Nuss was fine. He was okay. And then it just became okay, now I can see how both of these can work together.
Right.
But you have to be able to make a definitive statement right now so they know going forward, and the fan base knows. Now you can prepare yourself for what you're going to see Saturday, because I think there's elements of both of their game you can take and use that can help LSU win. But to run from the question and say, well, what? Well, what else would you say? We'll decide it throughout the week of practice. You know what both of them look like. It's just more of how you construct a game plan to make you be able to be competitive in a game versus Arkansas where you're going to have to score points.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I I was somewhat surprised that the answer was definitive, but at the same time, like I agree with you in the fashion of this is the right way to handle it because
if you wait to announce it, that fan base is not exactly thrilled to see Garrett Nussmeier, I imagine.
No.
But just condition yourself for it and support the cat because it's what you got. He's stuck with you. You got to stick with him, and then you'll see some Van Buren. I don't know if they're going to go one series or implement
right, and that's the part where
that
like
version of it, but we'll see.
To me, that the pressure now falls on the coaches more than anything and how they handle the situation. If you're going to do this 2-quarterback thing, what's the age-old saying? If you've got 2 quarterbacks, how many do you have?
2.
0.
Oh.
If you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have 1.
I would have got that. That's
No,
too.
God,
I would have had to cheat
I
off
knew the
Wilson.
answer.
The saying has always been, if you've got 2 quarterbacks, you
You
don't
got
have
none.
1.
I probably could have got. If it was multiple choice, I would have got it.
Wilson,
you
yeah,
figure it
show me
out.
the answer.
Yeah.
And so the responsibility usually falls, but now even more than usual, falls on the coaches is how you handle it. Like times in the game last week on Saturday against Alabama, maybe in that second quarter when it got a little stale, maybe you go to MVB earlier and you see if you can get a spark there. It's all about how you manage it. But I am surprised because to me personally, it's not exactly how I would handle it. Like I know, like you're in a tough spot with Garrett Nussmeier. I just saw a quarterback last Saturday that just looked completely checked out. It was completely.
But then he checked in.
Somewhat
On the bench.
And so obviously it depends what you see during the week, and Frank gave some answers on it, and we'll play some of the sound from that so you can hear what Frank said about the quarterback situation. This will be clip number 11, Lloyd. This is him just answering the first question about the quarterbacks and the way that dynamic will work moving forward this week into Saturday versus Arkansas. Because like we said, offense is at a premium this Saturday. You're going to have to score points against an Arkansas team that's all they do is score points and give up more points. So you have to find ways to get into the end zone versus the Razorbacks. Here's Frank Wilson talking about the quarterback dynamic for Saturday.
Yeah, for the quarterback position, I thought both of them did some good things. I thought both of those guys did things that need to be improved upon. I thought Garrett at times was spectacular. He started off red hot. He did some really good things for us. I felt at the back end we needed a spark and something to get us going and add another dimension to our game. I thought Michael stepped in and gave those things to us as a football team. As of now, nothing has drastically changed in how we have flowed. Outside of the fact, like last week, I'll say to you, we're going to use everything that we have, and both of those guys will play in this game moving forward.
Yeah, so there he is. Both guys will play on Saturday. That answer does feel a little bit like coach speak, of course. I mean, this is one of those situations, if you are a coach, you have to handle very delicately. It's one of those situations where you can't just be as maybe open and transparent as some people would like because it can get messy, very messy. And I think the way Frank is handling it up to this point is the mature and right way to handle the situation.
Well, I think it poses a bigger question of if you're Van Buren, I've got one more game to play for sure, and then what? Do I want to burn a red shirt and be a true junior going into where? Am I going to be the quarterback at LSU? Am I going to go into the portal? So if I'm him, I'm playing Arkansas. There's my 4 games, and then if you need me for the bowl game, holler. But other than that, I'm not. You have to look out for yourself at some point, and this is it's fair to say the season is in the trash.
It's over.
So
yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
What, you're going to play for the Pop Nussy? Like, what are you really looking at if you're LSU? You have an interim head coach, and you have 2 head coaches because you haven't fired your.
Yeah. Hasn't been officially terminated.
Yeah, he's not officially terminated, so you can, even though his key card doesn't work or his thumb doesn't work. But so what are we really doing here? And if you're Van Buren, you have tape from your freshman year. You have some limited spot duty at LSU, but are you trying to put tape together to go somewhere else? But other than that, I'm not going to burn a potential full year that I could have again versus playing for LSU in spot duty.
Right, and that's the
You see me against Western Kentucky.
That's the interesting aspect on Van Buren's end is the way he wants to handle it personally, right? The way he wants to handle the situation himself. He might be in the mindset of he just wants to play.
Right.
It very well could be the mindset of he just wants to play football, and if the opportunity is there, he's going to take advantage of it. And more power to him. But there's also the potential for the red shirt to really play a factor in his decision-making process. I don't know. This is all just assuming one way or the other, but it is definitely a thought process. And I think where LSU sits right now, you don't really don't have anything to play for besides, I guess, pride in the fact of like
draft.
And the draft. Like you don't want to be 6-6, right? You don't want to be
6-7.
like you would prefer to rattle off a couple of wins and end 8-4. Right, go 3-0 on the way out, the same way you did last season, where you rattle off some wins at the end of the year and find some sense of momentum. Because right now you're in a real tough. You're sitting at 5-4 after the Alabama game. Like really sit back and think about it. LSU sitting at 5-4 after starting 4-0 this football season, has gone on a 1-4 run through the month of October and November. And now you're looking at Arkansas and you're trying to figure out how to score points. And with that, you are committed to a 2-quarterback game plan. And I've never been a big fan of 2-quarterback game plans.
I think we all have a little PTSD.
Well, we're all scarred.
Yeah.
A little bit.
There's a version of it that worked. There's a version of it that did not work.
Right. Well, and we've seen so many versions of it. We've seen both sides of the coin, where it can be really good, but can also be completely mismanaged.
Well, and I think you have to, for this season, the reason that you're going to play both or continue to be committed to Nuss is because you have, because of the Van Buren situation, he's kind of put you in a little bit of a pickle, Dick, to where okay, if he wants to be able to keep his red shirt, then you have to keep Nussmeier alive and engaged.
Right.
And, Nuss, what?
I mean, because I guess
he's got something to play for, too. He's got to start.
Right.
If there even is tape to put out.
You just do something for your draft
He's
stock.
got to let's go for 350 and 3 tuds.
And so, my thing is, so with this 2-quarterback situation, because like I said, it all comes down to how you handle it. If you're going to do 2 quarterbacks. If you're going to have 2 quarterbacks going into a game plan, it's how do you handle it? Like, is it going to be a situation of you let Nuss start, you let him roll, when it gets stale, you take him out, you go Van Buren, and you roll from that? Or do you go where you literally are exchanging both of them throughout the game, where you throw Nuss out there, then it gets to a different down and distance or spot on the field, and you go Van Buren to open up and make it a little more dynamic? He was asked, Frank was, about maybe the thought process around how to use this is clip 13, Lloyd. I believe Caldwell asked this question. It was a very good question on the way they work that throughout the week and what it could look like on Saturday in the use of 2 quarterbacks. Because I just think the dynamic of what you saw this past Saturday, like it can't continue to be handled that way, where it's like, hey, Nuss, you're going to go out, you're going to start, you're going to play 2 quarters and a drive, and then
That's got pulled for performance.
Right. And so, that's the thing where it's like Frank's answer is it was a spark. You need a spark. They honed in on the and I agree with answering the question that way. That's not what it was. You needed to put a quarterback out there that could possibly win you the game because Nussmeier could not, right? Like, that's ultimately what it was in that moment, right? It was a performance-based change.
I mean, he was neutered.
He was done. And so that's where my thought process of, okay, this Saturday we're going to go in with the mindset again of that dynamic is what can make it get messy, right? Where it's like Nussmeier
You're the quarterback till you aren't.
You know?
It's tough to play that way.
Yeah, that's the thing where it's like, and so here's Frank giving his answer on the way they will potentially work throughout the week into Saturday with 2 quarterbacks.
You know what? That's a great question because we're not out on anything. Again, I think if you look at body of work and you isolate it. That's good. That was good. We missed that. We got to be able to get that. And they're both imperfect in that sense. They both brought something to the table that helped this team to go up and down the field. They both have things that they need to continue to work on as well. And so I don't think it's just a clear separation where one is beyond the other. That we'll need both of them, and I think we'll and I know we'll use both of them in this game.
There's Frank talking about the
Too
way
clean.
that options are available and the way they'll use it. They're
Parent
open
showers.
to everything. It's hard for me to have any expectations for this to work, right? Like it can get so messy, especially when this side of the football for you, offense for LSU, lives in such a dysfunctional state. Like, it's always unorganized and messy, and you can't get play calls in on time. You're calling timeouts. You're taking delay games. You mistime things with receiver. Like,
And you're owning time of possession.
you live
It's such a
right,
bizarro
it's
world.
unbelievable. You live in such a dysfunctional state. It's very hard for me to expect a 2-quarterback situation to work.
Would you not say that it felt like Nussmeier, obviously we've all seen the clip of Frank talking to him on the sidelines where he's
Right.
moon-pied, and then he said something, he goes,
Snaps into it.
I think you're not playing the next series. He's like, shocked. Like, what do
Right.
you mean you're pulling me? He's like, Nuss, how are you surprised by this information?
Go watch that last playback.
But now going into it, with this being very much whether you're talking to the press or you're talking to your team and throughout the media, like, now it's expected that I'm not the de facto starter when I get pulled. It's not because of performance, it's because of what they see with the matchup. And now Nuss knows, okay, that might take some pressure off of him to not go be perfect. It's like, all right, we're going to do this thing like in tandem. Let's run it together and see if we can find an offense where obviously we can all put a bow on Nussmeier. Like, what if you just run 2 or 3 times a game?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Now, so we'll get somebody else to do it for you.
Right.
Which is, it seems like something that he would probably prefer. So now with that going into the practice and everything leading up to Arkansas, it's going to be a little bit cleaner maybe. That's the optimist in me saying, okay, if you have 2 versions of this offense where you have certain specific plays for Van Buren going in and play, all right, Nuss come back in and play, instead of Nuss, you're getting 2 quarters, and then we'll evaluate you after that. It's going to be, I think you'll see both throughout the game. And if you can make it work in tandem, that's a much better version than what you just saw of,
Right.
okay,
right.
buddy, this is not going great. We're going to put in Van Buren. And he was like, what do you mean it's not going great? Like, what do you mean?
What are you watching?
Right, like,
Play.
I was surprised he was surprised.
Right.
But that kind of goes to show the Nussmeier experience in his
The place that
senior
he's at
year. Yeah,
mentally.
where he just is so mentally gone that he's surprised that he didn't even know if he was playing good or not.
Because that's my thing. Like, there's a way in a perfect world for it to work.
Yeah, of course.
And it falls so much on an offensive staff that has not done a good job.
Yeah, but
this
make it a little
season.
fun.
You know, like, and so
And this expectation of Van Buren as like he's this dual threat, like he
Right.
doesn't run it that much.
Right.
It's like you're putting in Lamar Jackson.
No, it's not
just
Jaden
guy that,
Daniels.
it's just somebody that is capable of putting 2 feet in front of the line of
he's quick
scrimmage and saying, "I'm
and
going."
he will run.
Right. As
Like that-
opposed to slow and will not.
Right.
So that makes you a dual threat.
Yeah, it does. No, it does. But like, also, when you watch him out there, like, I don't think Van Buren is this world beater Heisman quarterback, right?
No.
But he at least throws and plays with confidence. And like, even Rose said that on Sunday. Like, he said he's been around him in the facility, and he's nothing if not confident.
You can
And
see
you
that it's
saw
a
it,
stark
like,
difference.
visibly. And that's my mindset of like, one of these answers Frank gave, I think it's clip 14, was he talked about Nussmeier and said that he's going to be the starter going into this week. So like, to start this week.
Starter to start.
Not as much like, no, on Saturday. It was more so like, going through this week of practice, he'll get the opportunity to. I think that's, I guess, the way to handle it. And then I just ultimately think at this point in the year, and obviously it depends on Van Buren and his mindset, where you're at, the way it looked on Saturday, I looked at that clip of Nussmeier being checked out and then kind of giggling a little bit right after the camera cut on the sideline, being like, I don't know how you can put that guy back on the field.
That's why I brought up the red shirt, because I think that's what they're navigating.
It's got to be.
Otherwise, it would be a clean break.
Because it has
Because
to
you
be
can't do Van Buren as a starter for a full Arkansas game and then be like, I'm redshirting. It's like, hey, Nuss, how you doing? You ready to give
right.
Then
So
you kind of have to.
Colin Hurley?
Yeah.
Emil
He didn't
Picarella?
travel.
Right. And so, like, this is a situation where I think, like you said, that red shirt has to be looming large, because if it wasn't, right, it feels like it's almost a layup.
Yeah.
An easy choice. Because you ultimately made that decision last Saturday because the guy that you had back there wasn't getting the job done. Not that Van Buren came out there and did, because they still didn't get in the end zone, and he fumbled one. Like, it still wasn't beautiful, but you made the switch not because you needed a spark. You made the switch because the guy that was out there
Can no longer get the
job done.
But we'll see him back out there Saturday.
We will. Here's Frank talking about the starter to start the week in Garrett Nussmeier.
You know, I thought Garrett did well enough at times to still be in position to be the starter as we start and embark upon this week. And so when we go to corrections today and practice tomorrow, he'll be the first guy that goes in.
There's a short, quick answer from old Frank.
What do you think he saw in practice that made him the starter, or in the game that made him the starter this week?
What is he, 15 of 18?
He was 18 of 21.
18 of 21, 80% completion percentage.
86.
Yeah, but I believe 16 of those were behind the line of scrimmage.
2020 Drew Brees completion percentage.
Yeah, literally. And there were some I liked, the first, second down of the game. They got him on a little rollout right to Nick Anderson. It was like a little levels concept. Like, it looked good. There were a couple of throws when he was on the run, and he even went on, Frank did, to talk about this, it's clip number 8, the quarterback comfort, talking about Nussmeier on the move with some boot action, some rollouts, where it's a designed throw on the run versus a scramble throw on the run.
And this is where the offense, from a play calling standpoint, has done Nussmeier a disservice. If he's going to go out there and say, I'm more comfortable throwing, like, getting me moving and getting me mobile. And you saw a ton of that early,
and
where
it looked good.
Nuss under center and getting boots and all of this stuff. It made your offense flow a little bit better. And Nussmeier says, I've been doing that since I came out the womb. Like, that's somebody that's the first confident thing I've heard him say this year.
Right.
And you've done him, like I said, a disservice by not using that version of him, because it is true. And I don't know if this injury thing was going to drive me fucking up a wall, but if that's what it was, where you couldn't use him, like that mobility part of him, because he wasn't comfortable being able to do that with his, what does he have, internal tendonitis? I don't know. His gut hurts. And so maybe you couldn't get him as elasticized on the outside. But now maybe he's on the other side of it, as our coach, that's not the coach, likes to say. And so there's Frank talking about the offense and how they can get Nussmeier maybe rolling a little bit.
You know, point well made, and thanks for putting that in perspective, John. I think there's, he enjoys those things when it comes to waggles and boots and nakeds, and he thrives on them. And it allows him to naturally, in style of play, throw on a run, which is a little different than drop back and then scramble, because it's a part of, I believe, his repertoire. He can do those things naturally. And it happens, it flows for him. He's done it, as he says to me, I've been doing that since I came out the womb. He said that to me, and I said, okay, I like that, right? And so we'll continue to do whatever it is to benefit Garrett, to benefit Mike, to play to their strengths.
Mike Van Buren sounds like a player.
Yeah, I know. And that was a good answer by Frank. Like, he's handling this from a coaching standpoint as clean as you can handle it, because it is a situation that can get very messy. And I look at the two quarterback system, and ultimately I don't have high expectations for it whatsoever. I appreciate the optimism that Lloyd has tried to shine on it. I just look at it, and there's just, I guess I can go down the list of the reasons why I just foresee it being a mess. One, you're already a dysfunctional offense, right? You don't get play calls in on time. You have to burn timeouts and take delay games. Your offensive line is not very good. That's not going to change. Your receivers have struggled with drops, and those things are still going to be at play and maybe even heightened when you change who's delivering the throws, who's calling the snap count, who's under center, all of these things, who's calling the plays, the dynamic with the play calling. All of those things are now going to be exacerbated when you throw a 2-quarterback system out there. And then, I think Wolfgang said it in the chat, the offensive line all had 5 false starts on Saturday. Well, now they're going to be listening to 2 different voices potentially on snap counts with quarterback with Nussmeier and Van Buren. And so I just look at it ultimately a 2-quarterback system, and I don't have high expectations for it. I don't have expectations for it to work. Now, if it does, if you go out there on Saturday, it looks like they have a clear plan on the way they're going to handle it, and it's something that ends up being like, okay, this is actually works. Like, they're moving down the field. And if there was going to be a defense you were going to face that it would work against, it would be Arkansas, because their defense is awful. But I just look at it and I'm like, I can't foresee this working.
And I'll ask you this: what if it's a true 2-quarterback system? How early do you see both of them play? Because you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into Garrett Nussmeier gets 2 drives. What if it's 2 drives, 2 scores?
Alternating drives.
You would almost
have a play called or baked in.
You would almost in the first 15 on that first drive.
Play 3.
You get them both in on the first drive.
And I want to see hey.
Oh, just
make it fun,
like a sub in basketball where you hand off the towel or you high five.
Yeah, make it fun. I think this is a way to take some pressure off of Nuss.
Potentially.
So, I could see that where he's thank God, I'm not enjoying myself out here, and so it can make him play a little bit freer. Because what are you so scared of? Why are you fundamentally confidence lacking when you play football now? Well, you've already lost your job. What's the worst that can happen now? You're going to get drafted because your dad's going to make sure of it. You'll be fine.
Or you at least get signed.
I know that your life has changed and it's been altered of what you thought you were or what you thought was going to happen. Maybe you take the ring back and you get a smaller one. I understand all of that in terms of this is not where I thought this was going to go at all. But now this is where you are. You kind of have to live in the mud.
Yeah.
And that's cool. If homeless people are happy too. At some point, you just got to realize, shit, I'm homeless. All right, let's make the best of a bad situation. And once you do that and kind of put everything in perspective, okay, this can be fun again. Make football fun for you again.
My fear is that this adds pressure.
How?
You know what I mean?
There's literally, he could play DB for all I care.
No, I know. To me, there's no pressure on the season. You have literally nothing to play for from here on out. This should be the most free football LSU plays. But from a quarterback standpoint, I don't want to create a situation where it somewhat adds pressure on for Nussmeier. So it truly comes down to the management of the situation by the coaches. And I feel like it's for an offensive staff that has not done a good job. This just adds more stuff on their plate. More things for you to focus on how to manage and figure out and get right. Because if you mismanage it, then it becomes an absolute mess.
I could see that too, but I also think it frees you up as a play caller of, okay, if Nuss isn't going to do this and we have this version of the offense that exists, it's kind of like Sloan's wet dream. He just he never got to wake up. He was just, okay, because you saw the play calls with Van Buren and what the offense was intended to look like. It was with somebody that wanted to be mobile and get out and do some of the things that Van Buren's good at. But then you didn't do anything to placate to Nuss in the beginning, where it was boots and nakeds and waggles and getting him on the move and change. Because Why wouldn't you do any of that stuff when your offensive line is fucking putrid?
Right.
And it's like, get him out the pocket, get him moving a little bit. And that's why I don't know if it's because of, hey, at the beginning of the year he was injured and he couldn't do any of those things, but then you saw him whenever he was on the move, like, are you sure he's hurt? Because he was like ripping it across the field and doing different things, but it was a 3-step, 5-step drop. He couldn't get it in the air.
That also could have been in the back of their heads because they were trying to fix the run game at that point.
Yeah,
They were
but
trying
that
to fix
helps
the
you
run
be
game
able
on
to,
the
like,
ground.
getting him under center is what helped you. That helped your run game. That helped your pass game.
It to be such a problem though, because
Well, then that's on the fucking coaches.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
there's a lot to put on the coaches as well, and I guess that's my pushback against like the viewpoint of for the coaches managing it and like it maybe making their job easier. They haven't. The offensive staff has not done a good job.
They haven't
with
found
anything.
any
Like, they haven't-
shit that sticks.
They haven't instilled any confidence in me that they're going to be able
9 points didn't do it for you? Wow.
Did not. In 2011, it did.
That's 3 scoring drives. Technically 4.
Yeah,
That could have been 20. That could have been 28-20.
Get in the end zone. Yeah, well, you could have,
It wasn't.
but it sure wasn't. It was 20-9. And so, look, this entire situation just puts me even more in the mindset of, let's just fast forward to the end of this thing. Like, let's just get this over with. And I hate when I get in the mindset about LSU football. But like, there's no way you cannot not have that thought process. Like at this point, like there's no way you can't look at this and go, let's just fast forward and get to the end. Like that's I appreciate on the poll putting Sim to off season because that's exactly where I'm at. Like
that was you.
Let's just get to the end. Like just to get over.
You have to play.
You have to play the games.
And that's why you saw it. I mean, we didn't see Man-Child. We didn't see Jace Thomas.
Right.
But that's where you kind of turned as to how can I keep some of this roster together. You've seen one decommitment already, and that's fine. But there is a lot more on your plate, obviously more than football. You have a coach that's getting very litigious, and then you have to make this doesn't bode well for a coaching hire.
It's like that's the thing where like there's so much going on.
And you still have to play
outside of
football.
just football and be like, can we just not play the 3 games and like all focus our time and resources on
a search
handling these things, this mess that's going on around us.
And then you have a governor that wants to put his stamp of approval on whatever you're trying to do.
He can play quarterback.
And yeah, sure.
but
yeah, no, it's a mess. Like this is as bad as LSU's ever been.
It's a tough spot because like that's the thing where like looking at the 3 games, like you don't know who's going to be on the team next year.
You know two that you want to keep for sure, right?
You don't know who on the staff is going to be here next year. Like you don't know what parts of 2025 LSU
are
going to be a part of 2026 LSU.
Well, because in the pie in the sky, you want to keep all of the good parts, right?
Of
You want to
course.
keep Corey Raymond. You want to keep Frank Wilson.
Austin Thomas. You want to keep Harlan Berry, Tradez Green, DJ Pickett.
It'd be nice to keep Tradez Green if you use him.
Right.
2 targets?
Right.
1 drop?
God, it was a rough drop. But, yeah.
Well, but I haven't played all day.
Right. I wish I could blame it on that. But and he gave an answer about Tradez. I think it's clip 9, talking about the use of Tradez, the scheme, the play calling. They had dialed some things up. It just they missed him, or they didn't get to it, or Bama was on it well. And
if I'm Bama, I'm not letting him beat me.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I'm going to focus on 14 and not let that happen. And so here's Frank Wilson talking about Tradez Green on Saturday.
So, it's going to be nice to Trey. He was targeted. He was schemed. A couple of times schemed, and we didn't get it to him. A couple of times targeted, and we didn't get the reception. But he is a strength for us that we recognize and that we need. We need Trey to be involved in the game. Unfortunately, he didn't record one because he's a tremendous asset for us, and we'll try to get him going again this week. We'll get him going this week. But we had him, figured in the game plans last week as well. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the catches and receptions that we desire.
You can say, I mean, he's got the relationships with them, dude. It's
course.
impossible to
Of course.
not see that he knows at least the guys.
Well, no, and on top of that, like I think when I included the opening statement in this in these
the feel?
clips, but it was 6.5 minutes. The opening statement was.
It was good stuff, too.
It was a great, and like that's the other part where like he obviously has a relationship. On top of that, he is focused in dissecting like each aspect of the game, like managing the game, not as much just the roster. Like, because you could look at that, and we said it yesterday morning. And I think Matt Flynn talked about it yesterday as well, where it was like that drive in the second quarter when Nuss basically clocks the football was like the straw that broke the camel's back, where it's like that is where you lost the game in a sense. Like as much as you still had an opportunity moving forward, like that right there was a huge momentum swing that just really put you in such a bad spot. And Frank sat back and was like, no, like we wanted to be aggressive, to go get in the end zone, make that a 2-for-1 situation where you score, you get the ball after half.
Oh,
and you
it was a
score
2-for-1,
again.
all right.
Like and ultimately, like I didn't even leave that situation being like upset at Frank of like, why didn't we just run it? Like, why are we calling that? Like, I was not. If anything, I was mad at Nuss because like Nuss didn't deliver the football because Frank was like, no, we had it dialed up. We put them in the right spot. They were in the exact defense we anticipated them being in. Mm-hmm. And we had the play run for that. And it didn't happen. And am I incorrect in thinking that's the play that Nuss didn't throw it to Xavion?
Yes. No, you're not incorrect.
Yeah, that's the, like, so to me, like, I wasn't looking at Frank being like, what are we doing? Why are we throwing? It was like, Nuss, throw the football. Like, throw it to Xavion. If they were, like, and ultimately that's kind of what Frank was saying. Like, no, this wasn't mismanaged. Like, they were in the defense we expected. We had it dialed up. We were ready. And then the play wasn't executed. It fell on the shoulders of the quarterback not throwing the ball to the open receiver. And then, not only did he do that, he also mismanaged the situation the quarterback did in making the wrong decision. He didn't throw the ball to the open receiver, and then he clocked it instead of just, I don't know, falling to the ground. Like, anything to keep the clock running. And instead, you punt the football, you put them at their 34 with 56 seconds to go. A couple plays later, they're in the end zone, and it's now 17-6.
You get a missed field goal by Alabama. You get the ball back with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left. You go 2-yard pass, no huddle. Kane Durham, 3-yard loss, incompletion.
That incompletion is the Nussmeier, yeah.
Yeah, the one where, and Frank talked about it. He's like, we had we knew what we were looking at. We knew what we were like for maybe one of a handful of times all year.
Right.
We actually have something schemed up, and that's where Nuss is like, it doesn't matter, man. Like, this is the play call. Throw it to the guy that we have schemed up. We know what we're trying to do here. We know who we're dialing up, and he's open.
Right.
And that's ultimately what got him pulled. He can't pull the trigger.
Yeah,
and then when he does, he shoots himself in the foot.
And that's the situation of, like, it's just where I look at it, I'm just like that, and then mix that with the mismanagement in the red zone where it's delay a game, timeout, run into a sack, where it's just like,
yeah, get going.
Like, oh, God.
Because it was all going okay. It was 10-3. If you're able to put anything together.
10-6.
And yeah, if that, or just run it out. Like, and I understand, because there was no point in that version of the football game when you're in that time where you're like, run the clock out, get the ball back.
No, you're thinking get in the end zone.
Right, like you have a chance to. You have momentum.
Right.
You just had a missed field goal yell on the short side of the field where you don't have to go 25 yards to be able to get points in 56 seconds, and you can't do it. And ultimately, it's because you can't pull the trigger.
Because, I mean, Xavion is open. He is open. Like an in-breaking route, timed up all the time in the world. And I think maybe that's what freaked us out.
Yeah.
Was he was just standing back there in a clean pocket.
Then he created pressure.
And so it's just, like, to me, that's the part where the quarterback situation can get messy. is if you put Nuss back out there, he does things like that where he doesn't deliver, he doesn't make the play, and then you put Van Buren in, and he maybe makes a couple of you leave him in. That ultimately looks like a quarterback getting pulled for performance. And then that's where the situation can really get messy. So we'll see how it looks throughout the week. I'm very interested to hear from Frank again on Thursday to update this situation, because it's going to be quite intriguing to watch it all play out. I did like a couple of Frank's answers, though. Clip number 7, Lloyd, was when he talked about physicality, because LSU shut down the run game. Like, they absolutely were dialed up on Alabama's rushing attack and held them to not a lot. And I like the question that was asked, where they asked about the physicality in practice and how much that assisted in their ability to stop Alabama's rushing attack. And I loved the fact that the reporter that asked the question included the numbers of the fact that you've given up like over 200 rushing yards to this team the last 2 seasons, and then this year you hold them to like 50 or whatever. And Frank credited it to the fact that they got physical in practice against the rushing attack and the defense and the mindset they had. I loved this answer, and it shows the difference in this football team from under BK 2 weeks ago to under Frank Wilson now.
Well, what's funny is we were like, how can you change, right? It's like, oh, we found out how to be physical under Brian Kelly. He's like, oh, we unlocked it. We figured something out. And it's like, oh, good luck. And then with Frank, it's like, oh, they did.
Oh, actually,
it's like, dude, how would you hit somebody?
I think it played a part in it, right? I thought mindset. It's a mentality type play in your charge. And when we talk about that opening drive that they have, that was 2nd and 3, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You're talking about three downs against a team that have a couple of first rounders, possibly at offensive line, certainly one for sure. That we were able to get our cleats in the ground, get off the ball, change the line of scrimmage, and not allow them to move us. That's a mindset. That's a want to. That's not talent. That's sheer grit. That's sheer determination. My will against your will. I will not be moved. And so I thought our team did that, and I think the style of practice that we've been having, the way that we've gone about conducting our business, and this small sample size. Now, it's only, I guess, 10 days, since our transition, but we have, or so, but we have conscientiously, with purpose and intent, built the mindset to be physical running the ball and to be physical stopping the run as well.
Two things they did.
I love that answer. I thought that the defense you saw 1,000%, especially up front, a defense that was committed to being physical at the point of attack, and whether it was pressuring the quarterback or stopping the run, which stopping the run they did extremely well, they did that. And that, to me, shows the difference from Blake Baker under Brian Kelly to Blake Baker under Frank Wilson, where it's like, Blake, what do you need to get your group back on track? We'll do that. And then guess what?
They were back on
track. They got back on track. And they played lights out. And they played with a physicality against a team that has bullied LSU the last 2 years. Like, from a physical standpoint, the LSU defense got manhandled by Alabama in 24 and 23.
Well, they also jailed Milroe.
And Milroe obviously makes a difference. But, it's not like Milroe was, breaking all these tackles in the backfield.
He wasn't getting touched.
Wide open. And you saw a different defense, which obviously helps when you spend money on players. And they did. But on top of that, they played with a physicality even different than what they had against A&M and Vanderbilt, I would say. It was different in that game. And so, but ultimately where LSU is at right now, from an overall standpoint, is just please let something good happen. We need some sorts of positivity, right?
And that's some of and Frank talked about the fan base a little bit, but it really is. It's like a call to arms.
Yes.
Look, I know, we all know this wasn't necessarily my fault, but if we can go in and, like, I'll continue to say this, like, let's make it fun again. Like, you can go in there with a different attitude as opposed to being, I get the mentality of if Brian Kelly was still in charge and this is the way that it's going, and it's like, I am going just to be upset.
Right.
I don't feel that way.
No.
Right now. It's a kind of a lost season. Go into it because it's fun to go to football games. You want to see LSU play well. You want to see LSU win. And you want to see, ultimately, one of your guys, Nuss, is stuck through it thick and thin.
Yes.
And now we're having to stick with him through thick and thin. So what he's done for you, you have to do for him. This is what relationships are. Exactly. And now it's, it's just because it's not good for one of us doesn't mean it's going to be bad for all of us.
Right.
You got to pick him up whenever he has been your shining light, your beacon of hope. And it turns out he's not a superhero. He's he's
human.
Superman can bleed, and he's not actually, and he can't fly. But
Can't fly.
but he is your guy. Let's go see 18 go out there. Don't boo the man. Like, we did this for Michael Braswell. We rallied the troops. We got to a point where it's like, actually, it's amazing what support can do. And this is one of those situations where if you can instill the man is broken.
Yeah,
He doesn't
oh my
have
gosh,
confidence. You can give him confidence, though. He doesn't make him want to be able to go out there and play well. Not like I can't. I don't want him to dread Saturday morning. I want him to look forward to it.
Right.
And there's one way to do that. It's to go. You got to give the guy some support. And even though does he deserve it? I don't know.
Right.
Because there's parts of me that fucking hate how he's performed and how he's handled it. It has been atrocious. He's been a petulant, spoiled child.
Here we go.
And instead of that, though, he can look forward and change his mindset, and we can help him do that as a fan base. Go support the kid.
There we go.
Go support LSU.
No, you know what? I think
He doesn't want to be playing this badly.
I vented.
You did. You were.
I got it out.
Yeah.
I'm positivity from here on out. Focus on being positive.
He can't play
Because
well.
look, this is the thing. Like the season is over. Okay, there's nothing like you really like. I really shouldn't get upset about anything
Sure.
at this point. Like really, to just be like, if something bad happens, it's whatever. If something good happens,
Hell yeah.
let's go. Like that's should be
where
the
I am.
mindset exactly. And so, I agree. Like I think that this week into the next 3 weeks should just be. Let's find the bright light at the end of this dark tunnel every single Saturday.
You dug yourself in a hole. There's only one way to get out of it is to keep digging.
Just keep on digging.
I'm not going 1-0. I don't care about that.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care.
Go play some football.
Let's just play. Yeah, let's play ball, man. Just
Like-
play ball. It's what you've loved to do your whole life. Let's just play ball. That's what it's all about. It's just
Get
playing
Nuss on the
ball.
move. Get him rolling out. Get him active. That's all
Because
you
it's
can ask
just-
for because you have to do it regardless.
No, and I think on Saturday, and that's why I love the answer Frank gave about the fan base and the call to response, the call to arms, whatever you want to call it, because there's a different level of investment with him than with BK, like you said. Like this is not the same program that we're trying to fix in our brains to get away from. As much as the team is still bad and you still have some of the same issues, the guy in charge actually cares about the program. When he said in that answer that he was going to hop on the golf cart and ride around Friday night to check on tailgates, I fully anticipate him to do that.
No,
BK would said that, and I'd been like,
well, hire him a driver.
you know what that is in sign language? This right here? Bull.
Shit.
Yeah. That's what I'd have said if BK said that.
No,
But Frank said
I
he's gonna hop on
wouldn't.
the golf
Even if
cart.
he did,
Yeah.
Nice.
if he did say that and did do it, I don't want him at my tailgate. Like,
No, actually, I would have been like, yeah, get away!
yeah, actually come inside.
You know what? Right into this RV.
Uh huh. Yeah,
Right this way.
we do have a bathroom for you.
And so I think shout out to Frank, credit to Frank, and I think that there should be a different energy. And I hope they go out there on Saturday and whatever they decide to do, whatever. But just play inspired football the way you did this past Saturday.
Yeah.
The fan base out there, 11:45. It'll be nice, crisp football weather.
Get your day going.
Just have fun.
Well, and I think
Be
that's
happy.
that's the biggest crux of it is Frank Wilson's not going to let this team quit. He's not going to let them be an uninspired football team. They're going to continue to try, and that's all we've asked is to care Frank Wilson cares, in turn the team cares. Now I need Garrett Nussmeier to care because I saw him, lose hope.
I saw him not care.
I saw him not care. Ultimately, that's what bit him in the ass.
Yeah.
And I think you can do a big psychological deep dive on how that happened. I think it came from the top. Whenever your guy, your head coach that you gave all of this money to, and to instill a quarterback and an offensive guy and win national championships and all the things, he's like, well, if he's not going to try, why should I?
Right.
And I think that's really the mindset that kind of permeated throughout certainly the offensive side of the football. It's certainly the quarterback room. And now that's gone, and now you don't have that you can't show up to practice and be that person because you'll get pulled. And now everything's on the table.
Yep.
And I think that changes the way that you prepare. I think that changes. I do have to actually give a fuck. Because
let's have
now
fun.
my life is
online
altered.
Yeah.
And you still have an opportunity to get something out of it, to fix it, to be a quarterback which people look at and go, okay, there it is. I see it now.
Well, at least to get the crowd to clap again.
Yeah,
to cheer.
And not hate you.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's where you are. You're enemy number one. You were public enemy number 2.
Well,
public enemy number 1 exited stage left.
You were 3, and then 1 and 2 left. We're gone now.
And you're the only part of that puzzle that remains.
You had a chance to maybe change the narrative, and you didn't. And so now it's like
people are tired of reading this.
Seeing red.
Yeah, people are tired of this part of the book.
Yes.
And
we're ready to turn the page.
That said, he's still the protagonist in all of this, and that's
he's still the main character,
right? And I need main character.
If he's a protagonist or antagonist, that's depends who's watching.
He can flip it. He can flip it.
Yeah, just depends who's watching the movie, really.
Yeah, and I'd like for him to go out and perform well. He's still. This is such a sad state of affairs for this to be the way that it's played out. But ultimately, it's hard to give him sympathy because of the stories that came out and all of the things that have happened leading up to this, where it's like when you don't give effort, this is what not giving effort looks like. But now you can try. You can try to fix it. And I think he does deserve, because of what he's done previously, the first 4 years of Garrett Nussmeier, deserves to have a good senior day at LSU. He stuck with you. That's why I got to stick with him. I'm going to keep saying it.
It's a night kick against Western Kentucky. It'll be nice and chilly, I would assume.
And chilly weather.
I would assume November 22nd.
It'll probably rain.
Sad day.
Bad day.
One thing that Frank did talk about that I will go ahead and give my opinion, my strong opinion on. He talked about the right tackle position, that they haven't made a decision who starts.
I think
it's Ori Williams, and I think it's set in stone. There's no way it's not. So, Fonz, there needs to be a 30-30 done, a 30 for 30 done on Nuss this year. It needs to be done on this entire.
They did that, and it seemed to be a problem.
They need to just do the Kelly tenure at LSU, from when he got here in December 21 to the firing, or I guess what? I mean, it's still not. The 30 for 30 is still not done.
Might be a 90 for 90.
At this point,
60 for 60.
300 for 300.
54 for 54.
Well, you'd have to make it like a bad thing. Like a 30 for 30 is usually good, unless it's like a crime or something.
Well, this is a crime.
Well, what happened to LSU this year is a crime.
You could investigate Brian Kelly and figure out a good 30 for 30.
Because I donated money monthly.
Find out.
Yes, please, Pablo. But we will talk about some of the Brian Kelly stuff today. It's Wilson Alexander, who put out a write-up on it last night from The Advocate, will join us at 8:30 a.m. this morning to enlighten us all, and we'll discuss the Brian Kelly situation. Don't forget, every single day we're brought to you by CAS Roofing and Advising. Our guy Pierce Patterson over at CAS. His number's 225-910-0619. If your roof has some grit falling off into your driveway, you got a missing shingle, you got a leak inside the house, or if your home is 10 years old or older and you want to get your roof double-checked here in the winter months, just give them a call, 225-910-0619. Pierce Patterson will head out there, hop on your roof, let you know if it's in good shape or not, and how to move forward, and they'll walk you through the process over at CAS Roofing and Advising, 225-910-0619. We will take a quick break here as we've rolled into hour number 2 and be right back with more Tingle & Co. after this.
The roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's a repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
Wardos was created in honor of Alan Ward Granning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granning at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Go Martin has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff.
Where everyone is family.
All right, welcome in here as we are opening up hour number 2, 8:13 this morning. We will have Wilson Alexander join us in just over 15 minutes to discuss the current state of affairs at LSU as Brian Kelly and LSU are in a bit of a contract dispute about his $54 million buyout and if he is or isn't formally terminated, I guess. Which was, I guess, the surprising language to me whenever I read it was the formally terminated aspect of it. I figured there would be some debates here and there on the buyout, but now the discussion around if he actually was fired or not and now he's being fired for call. Like this whole mess. And I don't know all the ins and outs of it, and that is why in about 15 or so minutes, Wilson Alexander from The Advocate will join us to discuss this current situation around LSU football.
It feels a bit like the interim versus permanent tag. Like we're having some pretty basic. Some of the nomenclature is getting, I guess, lost in the sauce, if you will, because
some things
these are things.
In translation.
Yeah, these are things that are very. What they mean is what they mean. There's not a
Right.
lot to dispute, and it seems like LSU has found a way to dispute them. And I don't know if this is going to come back to a Scott Woodward thing or a Brian Kelly thing, because I don't know. Clearly, they had a meeting in which Brian Kelly was no longer part of the team.
Right.
And now, and whether that paperwork was filed and signed, I think is where we are right now. Because if
Feels like it.
they haven't agreed to officially be terminated because he hasn't agreed to be terminated. Because that's why
Because
there's
of the money.
the back and forth. So now he's officially still on the I guess the roster, if you
Staff?
Yeah, because he hasn't quit yet or he hasn't been fired yet because he won't agree to the firing terms. And so that's where we stand currently. And it's weird to see the public perception of this as if it's LSU's. Like more people are siding with Brian Kelly than LSU. And that is interesting, as Brian Kelly is not like the most popular person nationally. But they're like, pay that man what he's owed, because I think they like to dance on the grave of LSU giving out the contract, and it's funnier to laugh at the money left as opposed to LSU actually finding a way out of this.
Right,
And,
because the mindset of like, if you're going to fire him, you got to suck it up and cover. Don't try to.
see, I'm on the other side of it. I'd be like, I would love to see somebody wiggle out of this. Brian Kelly doesn't need that money.
Well, no, that's what I mean. With my LSU lenses on, I'd be like, yeah, I'd rather you
I mean,
not
it's
spend
going to be
$54
interesting
million.
because they're trying to fire him for cause. And if this is
Right.
going to play out publicly, we're going to find out what that cause
it's
is.
going to, and this is, in my opinion, it's going in the direction of it's going to play out publicly. Like,
Not at LSU. No way.
in this current temperature,
Climate.
climate around LSU, I don't foresee it playing out any other way, and that is where the concern can come in of like, what does this mean for everything else? Like,
We're about to find out about how much Brian Kelly really cares about his public perception. If people already hate me already, then say anything you want about me, pay me my money. That'll be interesting.
very.
And we might get like some answers to how all of the things that are around the Brian Kelly tenure at LSU, where there's been some question marks, there's been some shade thrown, there's been some questionable decision making. I wonder how much of it goes into the public.
And like in these legal situations, I mean, lawyers are essentially like artists.
Is this going to be
their
on
job
C-SPAN?
is to paint a picture. Mm-hmm. And I can also get nervous about. I mean, if BK's got all this money, his lawyers in the picture they may or may not paint of LSU and the management of this organization and program and the way that could look to the public could also be like
Don't look under there.
I don't know what this can turn into, and I mean, Wilson Alexander will join us to discuss it in a little over 10 minutes.
And it does kind of, and this is why I'll always be a Scott Woodward advocate. If he's willing to be the one to fall on the sword for all of this, it's an absolute.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, he is 2 claps ready. Because he's like he's a martyr for LSU.
That's essentially what it could pan out to be. So we'll talk to Wilson as he'll join us. And like I said, a little over 10 minutes. LSU men's basketball, though, 2-0. Starting off, going into each game 1-0. They've done that twice. As the LSU men's basketball team is 2-0. Last night, they defeated the New Orleans Privateers, the Fighting Master P's, who were 1-0 and kind of riding high going into the PMAC. I saw a good number of Privateer fans made their way into the PMAC last night, because they defeated TCU, a Power 4 program, in their first game, and had a lot of excitement around what the season may look like.
If I was a Privateer, I would very much circled LSU also.
100%.
Like they can get it as well because
Especially after that win.
Right, and then you look at LSU and go, "Oh, blood in the water," right? Like this has not been a program that has had success lately.
That would
McMahon,
have been a game that I would have anticipated that you could find a way to lose.
It makes you feel a little bit more confident what LSU basketball is putting together.
Because I don't think UNO is that good of a team, but this felt like an opportunity for you to get bit. And really, especially in the first half, because, you were up 12 at halftime. It got a little close at the end of the first half. And then they came out in that second half, and they dominated. LSU played really good on the defensive side as UNO shot 29 or 30% from the field, 24% from three, and they turned the ball over 9 times. LSU won the turnover battle, finally, and then shot the ball relatively well. You saw Markel Sutton hit 4 threes. He scores 15, gets 15 boards. Pablo Tamba, 10 and 10. Nwoko looked really good on the interior, 22 points, 5 boards, a block and a steal. And then DJ Thomas, once again, 9 points, 8 assists, just facilitating. And that's where my confidence and I guess my concern as well with this team, because what I will say is the offense does not look the same when number 11 is not on the floor. They kind of go as far as number 11 will take them. When he is not facilitating, the offense can get a little stale in a sense, where they maybe lack a little bit of the creativity, and the shots aren't quite as easy to come by without number 11 on the court. He is the key to this team. He's the engine that's going to keep this LSU Tigers team rolling, and I'm interested to see who steps up behind him or outside of him when he's not on the court to make things happen. But ultimately last night, I liked what I saw. You handled business against a team you're supposed to handle business against. You shot not the best. They shot 44% from the field, which isn't a great percentage. 37% from three, 75 from the line, but they dominated the glass. They got 18 offensive rebounds. They had 21 assists, so once again sharing the ball extremely well. Fast break points, they scored 13. They had 42 points in the paint, which just shows the physicality that LSU has and that they played with. I liked what I saw last night from this team, and they continue to stack days here in the month of November. But yeah, this guy, he makes it happen. He's one of those guys, a true point guard sees the play after the play, right? You don't just see the pick and roll to the swing to the corner when the guy said, you see the roller getting he plays basketball in such a fun way, and it's just entertaining to watch. And so as they continue this month of November, they have FIU, Alcorn State, Omaha Drake, before they get into the month of December, where they start with a 3-game stretch against some top-tier opponents in Boston College, Texas Tech, and SMU. And so once you get through this month, continue to stack days. You're now 2-0. You won 96-60 and 93-58 against Charleston State and UNO. Keep that thing rolling and find your way into December against some of these top non-conference competition. See what you can do. But the real concern with this team is when you get to SEC play. That's really what it comes down to. And what I saw last night that brings me some sense of confidence in what you can look like in league play is the physicality they played with. They are no longer kind of like Nwoko is a man. He's put together. And he was banging down low, using his strength to rebound. Markel Sutton using his length and his strength. He had 15 boards. Pablo Tamba is a SEC caliber athlete as well. Really good on the defensive side of the ball. And then DJ Thomas, very, very impressive. So we'll see if they can continue to grow as this month goes on, and then what they look like against some of that upper echelon non-conference competition in December before you ultimately get into SEC play in the month of January. And that's when, under Matt McMahon, 2 out of the 3 seasons he's been here, you've seen the drop-off. You've seen them play extremely well in year 1 and year 3 in the non-conference, and then you get to league play, and I think those 2 teams combined for 5 conference wins in 2022 and 2024. And so ultimately, you would like to see, or 23 and 25, you would like to see those things adjust and get better in the way that I think this team can, but we shall see. It was nice to be in the PMAC last night, but I would love to see them find some momentum and pack that thing out. Like, LSU is just better when the PMAC has energy, and last night there's not a lot of excitement around the program right now, I don't think.
There's not a lot of excitement around LSU in general.
That's true.
And so it's kind of, this falls to the one thing that hasn't been inspiring at all to kind of lift you up is LSU basketball. And
that's a good thing you have LSU women's basketball on the PMAC
true.
Wednesday night. There's your excitement.
Right, but this is if you want to find something to cheer for, something to latch on to while LSU football is, we're done and we haven't even had a turkey yet. And usually that's when it gets good. Instead, it is, let's just get to the end.
Right.
That said, Markel Sutton, your Bayou Tough Tiger of the game.
All right, great win. Great job, fellas. Great unselfishness. Jay Reed, 15 and 7. Big Mike, 22 and 5.
The hammer.
Rob, 4 assists, only 1 turnover. Our point guards, 12 assists, only 1 turnover. His first LSU double-double, Pablo Tombo. And 15 and 15.
There you go. There's a little bit of excitement around the
they
program.
like each other.
Some vibes.
I like each other. The hammer.
The hammer.
Sponsor anything these days.
Shout out to Markel Sutton. I did not anticipate him being the shooter he's been up to this point. 4 threes last night. I did not see that coming from when he came from Omaha, obviously through the transfer portal. Look, they have some excitement around them, and that's where my confidence going into league play comes from, is they are really good at the point guard spot with DJ Thomas and kind of him by himself, and they have 4 really good bigs like that are physical and talented and strong. With Nwoko, Sutton, Reed, and Miller, you have a really good mix of 4 guys that are big, strong, and have some good skill to them that can give you a chance when you get into league play. They rebound well. They battle down low. They can finish around the rim. Reed and Miller have a little bit of a better ability to create, as well as Sutton. We'll see what they can do. But if you can continue to stack days, that's all you can ask for. X-Soda, it's UNO, come on.
Hey.
This team 2 years ago lost to Nichols at home. We are not this big, high and mighty LSU. Okay, we got to take what you can take, and there are things that you can take from every single win. And so LSU men's basketball will be back on the court, I believe, Thursday against, who was it? FIU. And then Wednesday night, LSU women's basketball tomorrow night versus Charlotte. We'll have Schwartz in studio, Coach Schwartz in studio, to preview that game and talk about that women's team that is extremely talented. So we'll take a quick break here. We'll get Wilson Alexander to join us to discuss the Brian Kelly contract dispute between the former LSU head football coach and his former employer and all that kind of current employer, maybe, the mess that it all is. We'll be right back with that after this.
Wardo's was created in honor of Alan Ward Branning III, fondly known by family and friends as Wardo. In 2019, the oldest brother of the tribe passed away unexpectedly. His remaining siblings and loved ones wanted to honor his memory in a special way. In 2022, Ward's family decided to combine the need for a sandwich shop in downtown Natchez with a desire to pay tribute to Ward's love of good friends, good times, and great food. Through blood, sweat, tears, and countless hours of hard work, Wardo's was born. So go visit Wardo's today at 309 North Broadway Street in Natchez, where the po' boys are so good, you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
Hey, Miss Lou, come visit us, Tom and Wright Granding at Go Martin on the Go Deli.
Gomart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need.
Located at the corner of Highland Boulevard and Highway 61 South in Natchez.
Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff,
Where everyone is family.
All right, welcome back here as we close out hour number 2 here on this Tuesday morning. We appreciate all of you spending your morning with us once again. And we also appreciate Wilson Alexander for making some time for us this morning to enlighten us all and make us maybe a little more
Educated.
the know and educated with this situation as Brian Kelly and LSU are getting ready to battle. But Wilson, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, y'all. How are you doing?
We're doing well. Doing well. We appreciate you making some time for us once again. It is good to talk to you and be enlightened this morning as this feels like a bit of a mess, huh? Just all that it's been over the last 2-3 weeks. Just up and down roller coaster. I know it has been for us just talking about it, but I'm sure for you reporting and writing on it, it's been quite the roller coaster.
Last night, I thought, oh, here's another night of sleep deprivation. Yeah, that's what it's been for, like, I don't know how I've lost track of the
2
days,
weeks?
how many days it's been since Brian Kelly got fired. Mostly just not enough sleep.
Yeah, no, I could imagine. And so I guess we can go all the way back and start there with just that situation with BK and the I guess firing or the non-firing of Brian Kelly 2-ish weeks ago and the fact that it was all turned over then and the way all of that was handled. Were you surprised by the timing of the decision and maybe the way it kind of played out after that Texas A&M loss?
A little bit. We all know that this buyout number, which is now obviously a little bit it's being wrestled over, is so large that it seemed as though maybe LSU would wait until next year to fire Brian Kelly. But it's that Saturday night, as the Texas A&M game went along, it became evident to me that that was likely not going to be the case, that some action was going to be taken, and then probably as soon as that next Sunday. Still, though, it wasn't like obvious until that afternoon, as I think a lot of us here started to get some information about what was going on. And so, yeah, for LSU, I think they saw a situation that just wasn't going to turn itself around. And it's sort of that thing, if you're going to make a decision, why not make it now? But it felt like it was maybe a little bit hasty. You want to have probably some more of your ducks in a row before that happens. And now here we're seeing maybe the after effects of not having that. As these things continue to kind of get fought over and everything going on with AD. A lot of stuff kind of seemingly happening on the fly, which is why all of this appears so messy to us in the public.
And that's what I'll ask you now. It was a great write-up that you put out last night on this situation. But just so for the viewers that don't understand what's truly going on right now, this current dispute, what is the situation between LSU and Brian Kelly at its current standing?
So they are fighting over the buyout, and those are ongoing negotiations. According to a letter that Kelly's attorneys sent to Verge Osbury and one of LSU's board members that we obtained over the weekend, LSU offered 2 financial settlements to Brian Kelly the day that he was, and we'll say fired. I think for all of us here, we'll say fired, right, even though that language is now maybe being disputed. Of $25 million and $30 million, and Kelly rejected both of them. Those were those upfront lump sum payments. They would release him of the duty to mitigate clause, basically give him money and send him on his way. He rejected those, and I don't think you can blame him really, because it's like half of what he is owed under his contract. A few weeks go by, there was some openness to settle, and there is still probably some openness to that because Brian Kelly's attorney said in that letter, which was dated November 5th, that he would be open to any additional offers that LSU may make if yesterday by 5 p.m. LSU had provided written confirmation that it was going to, quote, fulfill its contractual obligations, end quote, and basically pay Kelly the full buyout for a firing without cause. Brian Kelly's attorneys are trying to establish in writing and now through the legal system that this was a firing without cause, because that's what would then entitle him to all this money. LSU is disputing that, and that's where we kind of why the suit was filed yesterday.
And so I guess my question to you, how messy can this get? Because it feels like it could all be played out very publicly and can ultimately get very messy for both Brian Kelly and or LSU.
Is this going to be on C-SPAN?
That'd be fun. It'd be more entertaining to a lot of us, I think.
Put it on Saturday night.
Yeah, it'd be better than LSU Western Kentucky.
Right.
It'd be better than what's normally on C-SPAN for, I think, all of us who watch sports. But how messy could this get? It depends on if they let this get to court. If they get to a discovery phase and if they really continue to dispute this and this plays out in a courtroom, then yeah, it's going to get really messy. It feels as though there's still different negotiation tactics going on, and that perhaps LSU is still, again, trying to kind of get Brian Kelly to accept some kind of reduced settlement offer. They're trying to now push away from that. It's gotten messy already, but there is certainly the potential for it to get messier the longer this plays out, depending on how it plays out.
How did we get to this part of the conversation where, I guess after the meeting with the powers that be at LSU, that it becomes now that he wasn't formally terminated? What does that mean? They just left and shook hands and said, is that just like a paperwork thing where you haven't signed, your formal, I guess, resignation or firing? Like, what does that mean?
So LSU is taking this position in part because it says that Scott Woodward, this is in the legal filing that was submitted yesterday, that Scott Woodward did not have the authority to terminate Brian Kelly and or offer him a settlement offer. The people on the LSU representatives in this case now are not Scott Woodward. And,
right.
There's, Verge Osbury is obviously part of this, and they're now, lawyers and such. And John Carmouche, an LSU board member, is a key figure in all of this too, who are negotiating this and sort of coming at it from a position, well, we weren't the ones making decisions when this happened. And they haven't, at this point, I'm told, formalized Kelly's termination in writing. And so that's what Kelly and his team are now trying to get. And LSU hasn't done that because they're seemingly content to let this play out on a longer timeline. And again, that's kind of where those negotiation tactics come into play, to try to force Kelly into taking some kind of reduced settlement. And so that's kind of how we got here, is that LSU now is saying, well, the people who are representing LSU are saying now, like, well, some of us weren't really in charge when this was going down, and we haven't formally terminated him yet, and because the right hasn't been put into writing, and which is again is kind of one of the things that Kelly is now seeking, and so they're sort of putting this threat out there that they would fire him for cause, and that could be very difficult to actually do.
Has LSU ever fired anybody for cause?
Fired Will Wade for cause.
Oh, yeah, we'll wait for cause. Okay, absolutely. And now, I guess my question going forward with this is, did they do this with the idea of, I guess the powers that be now, with Scott Woodward being relieved of his duties, was this part of it? As in, okay, if we get rid of Woodward, now we can go forward with the Brian Kelly thing and kind of create like this imaginary scenario that's actually playing out in real time of like, we didn't do that, he did that, but now he doesn't work here, so now there's a loophole.
Yeah, maybe so.
Wouldn't he have the authority to fire him as the athletic director?
Yes, you would think so. That he has that authority. He was still in his position as an athletic director. That's something that, as we move forward, I suppose now LSU will have to prove is that he was not. Because that was one of the three things that Kelly's lawyers pushed back against within this lawsuit, that they said that LSU's representatives brought up in this call that they had Monday. There was that he would, I can't remember the exact three off the top of my head now because I've gotten very little sleep, but one of them was that Woodward did not have this notion that Woodward did not have the authority to make that decision. And so, I'm sorry, what was the other part of your question?
Oh, I was just going through the three clauses were the idea that he somehow had not been terminated, that the then athletics director Woodward was not acting with authority, and this is my question. In a meeting attended by several LSU athletics officials, including the current AD and Verge Osbury, so wouldn't that be like everybody that was there kind of had the authority to see it happen? So I'm just wondering what leg they're going to stand on if this is the decision they're going forward with. Like that tells me that it's only going to play out very messy and very publicly.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. We have to. Now the next thing is, okay, what if you're LSU? Where do you go from here? What is your next step? Brian Kelly's attorneys, by filing this suit, have kind of trying to put pressure on them. And up until this point, LSU seemingly has been content to, again, kind of just let things play out because they're still paying him this monthly installment. And they're going to continue to do so. So they see no real reason to have to rush this along. I think there's, Brian Kelly and his team are trying to get it established again that he was fired without cause, that he's entitled to this money, and then maybe be able to make all of this happen much faster. So I don't know I'm curious to see what else, what would a firing for cause be too? Mm-hmm. Like that is usually something that is off-field behavioral issues that are documented in some way. Something more like an NCAA violation, like in the case of Will Wade, or a morality clause or something like that. But those can be very difficult to prove and often are not. And so, is it just something that LSU's kind of floating out there to try to get them to come down to this reduced settlement? That's possible. So, I don't know exactly what LSU's going to do next or what leg it has to stand on. That hasn't really been made clear yet.
What is the timeline for this?
There is none, really.
Yeah. Okay. So this could just be looming large until LSU makes another hire, or could Brian Kelly show up on Saturday with a whistle and say, "Fire me"?
I doubt that he would want to come back now under these circumstances. But no, this could loom. I mean, this could be going on for weeks, months. If they were to come to a negotiated reduced settlement, then, whenever that happens, it'll be over. Otherwise, it's going to play out until there is a judgment in the case and then go through the legal system. And who knows how long that will take.
And I'll ask you for I guess maybe the fan base's perspective, where all they really care about is LSU football. And so what are the, I guess, effects that this kind of process and result could have on the program itself, like maybe with the coaching hire or the coaching position not look as attractive with all this going on, or some of the negative effects it could potentially have?
Yeah, off the top of my head, I mean, from a public perception standpoint, it just adds on to this sort of notion that everything is like messy and on fire down here. And I know there's a lot of people in the college athletics community who are sort of like, wait, LSU's doing what? Like, why is it trying to get out of this? Why are things going this way? And so that could maybe come up in conversation as LSU tries to hire its next head coach. I don't know that, I'm sure an agent would probably have questions about this,
right?
Because they would want to make sure that their client, whoever is the next head coach, is not maybe going to get put through the same kind of thing. But I'm not sure to what degree it will really have an effect on who LSU is able to hire. It feels slightly separate to me, but I'm sure it is something that will come up, certainly when LSU is talking to agents in particular, as they kind of question some of its actions right now.
Yeah. That's good news because that's like I said, the fan base, as long as LSU football stays in a good spot, then they'll be okay. What I'll ask you is a little more on the football side. What have been your takeaways and thoughts of the program under Frank Wilson, kind of the way he's handled things up to this point and the performance this past Saturday night?
Yeah, Frank has tried to make changes. We see certainly cosmetic stuff like with the all-in drum and some other things that they've done. And, that anecdote he shared about playing like the Pearl Harbor, horn and that kind of thing. And he's trying to keep this team together down the stretch. But, nothing looked different Saturday night.
Right.
So what I make of it is okay, your offense is still broken. You have a defense that's trying to carry you, but it's not like a 2011 type of defense kind of thing that's going to hold someone to less than 10 points. It's like an elite offense, I should say, to less than 10 points. We have enough data now to see that. Like Alabama put up 20, obviously Vanderbilt and Texas A&M scored quite a few points, and that the offense just isn't capable of keeping up. And that could be a real problem on Saturday too, with the way Arkansas can score. One of the best offenses in the SEC, one of the best red zone offenses in the country. They have the highest touchdown percentage in the red zone in the FBS. LSU, meanwhile, is very near the bottom in that regard. And so it's like Frank Wilson said yesterday, they're going to have to score touchdowns, and they haven't proven that they can do that, regardless of who's playing quarterback. So it's he's trying to make changes, trying to keep this thing together, and I applaud him for doing so. It's just that not much changed between the last two games.
Yeah, and the last one I'll ask you, bring up the quarterback position. He obviously said yesterday, you saw both quarterbacks on Saturday, said that was more of a spark thing, but when I look at it, it looked as if Nussmeier just wasn't getting the job done. They had to make a change. And you look forward to this Saturday, and he has the answer yesterday where he says they're going to play both. And they'll go throughout the week with that mindset. What are your thoughts on the two quarterback system and what it could look like for LSU moving forward?
Those always work, don't they? So good.
Especially here.
What is it? We have two quarterbacks. You have none.
Right.
It's heck yeah, two quarterback system. This is gonna be great. That's kind of how I feel about it. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Part of it too. I feel for Garrett. I've gotten to know him over the past few years. I know how much he cares about this and doing a good job. For this season to have gone the way it has, for the whole team, and for him to not played well for the majority of the year. That's part of the predominant feeling I've had since Saturday. Is like, man, I feel bad for this guy that this has not worked out this season, and that this is going to be the way that it ends now, where you're sharing time most likely, with your backup and kind of through the end. Although that, at least on Saturday, let's see. It's going to be interesting the next two games. Does Michael Van Buren want to play past 4 games in the regular season or burn his red shirt? That's going to be certainly something that needs to be asked about next Monday. In the meantime, at least, LSU will go forward with these two, and seems as though at least Garrett Nussmeier is going to get the chance to start again. And but it's in this past game, like you said, it seemed to me like they had gotten Michael Van Buren ready, but weren't going to really put him in until Nussmeier really struggled and the offense was struggling. And then they put him in, and now I wonder how much they're going to really be sharing reps throughout the course of the game instead of just like putting in Van Buren if Nussmeier's not playing well. It feels like that's more where we're headed based on what Frank Wilson said yesterday.
Well, it seems like they're splitting reps because they don't know what Van Buren's going to do. Like they haven't had maybe that full conversation of like kind of just like this whole everything that's been this year. It's like you're kind of doing this all on the fly, and it's like, oh wait, what if he doesn't want to play the next 2 games? And then, well, Garrett, you can still play, but we're really kind of done with you. So you're trying to keep Garrett, I guess, involved because you don't know what Michael Van Buren's going to do. And so that's why I ask you if that's the reasoning. Maybe is that you have to keep Nuss kind of engaged because he's the only real answer. He could opt out too if he wanted to. I don't know what he wants to do, but you're kind of up Schitt's Creek without a paddle at this point. Van Buren says, why would I not want to be able to have my redshirt year?
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing Nuss not at least like play the last 2 games in that scenario. The competitor that he is, the way he's devoted himself to LSU for the past few years, I have a hard time seeing him not do that. So I don't know that you'd be like in a horrible situation. If Van Buren says, nah, you're not playing me the last 2 games, you can get me again in the bowl game. And I also wouldn't blame Van Buren for feeling that way though, right? Because I mean, it's like you're going to waste a full year of eligibility on like the end of a lost season under an interim staff. Like I wouldn't do that. I mean, Garrett didn't do it his freshman year,
right?
Playing in that Texas Bowl. So I think that would be the wise decision for him and potentially the program long term not to play him. And then you shared the 2 in this game, and then the last 2 maybe Garrett just plays the full way. But at least for now, you can kind of see a little bit more of what you have in Michael Van Buren and give the next staff a better idea of whether or not he's your answer in 2026, or if you do what I think a lot of us think LSU needs to do, which is to go get a high-level quarterback in the portal. Not just a quarterback in the portal, but like someone who can start right away.
I feel like people are painting this as if Van Buren's going to leave. Like, isn't it also in LSU's best interest to have him redshirt?
Absolutely. Yeah. Just like it was in LSU's best interest for Garrett Nussmeier to redshirt back in 2021, it's definitely their best interest for him to redshirt now. This quarterback situation, this room is not in a good place. You have no high school commits in this current class. The only 2 scholarship guys behind Garrett are Michael Van Buren and Colin Hurley. And you're waiting on a high school quarterback until 2027, and you can go into the portal, but like you need guys to fill the room.
Right.
As much as you need a starter, you also need some depth. And so to have Michael Van Buren available as long as possible is advantageous for this program for sure.
Well, Wilson, we appreciate you. Obviously, we feel, I think, a little bit smarter, especially in this situation, after talking to you this morning. And thank you for making some time for us. We'll talk to you again soon.
If it wasn't you, it was going to be Judge Judy.
I'm glad I could help. Y'all have a good rest of your day.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. There he is, Wilson Alexander, enlightening us all a little bit smarter this morning after talking to him.
The entertainment part of me wants all of this to just be.
Of course. I mean, this is primo TV. Like, just
it's
watch
like
it
Karen
all.
Reed.
Like, watch it all unfold.
Somebody hit somebody with a car.
But we appreciate Wilson for joining us this morning, making the time. It was good to talk to him again and see him again. Obviously, we continue to pray for Wilson and his family after everything that they've gone through over the last couple of months, and he's still cranking out good work. The write-up last night was great, and then obviously informing us all this morning. We appreciate him.
Just what you thought? Yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
Of course.
Just what you thought? Like we were like, oh, it's finally back to football.
Well, the waters had been calm.
No. 11 o'clock last night. Like what the? Yeah, like what the fuck is this?
No, dude.
Like, oh, okay, we're gonna do this all very publicly after a loss to Alabama, and you pulled your starting quarterback, and you don't know who's going to start the next week. And Frank Wilson's having a press conference, and on top of that, Scott Woodward is now like, did he fire him? No, you can't fire him. And then Brian Clear's like, I'm suing LSU, and LSU's like, no, we're suing you, and we don't have a head coach, and your AD may not be your AD. Your quarterback's not your quarterback.
I mean, it's entertaining, that's for sure. It's never a dull
LSU
moment.
can't be normal.
No, can't.
You're either the best team of all time.
Allergic to being normal.
Good. I like it. I prefer it this way.
I mean, especially for us in this business.
Well, no, it just it's
keeps us entertained.
We're like a very attractive female. It's never easy, but I can't quit. Like, of course I want that.
Do you remember how nice it was in 2019?
Oh, you were 2019?
2019 was special.
Do that trick again. Why are you saving it?
Whatever you're doing now, stop.
Stop it.
Bailey McGee in the chat. What's up, Bailey? This is going to get ugly, I fear. No, that's the
prevailing theory.
That's the thing, is this is going to get
What is he going to say about LSU, though? Like, Brian Kelly, if I'm nervous.
But this is the thing. I don't think he cares what gets said about him.
I don't think he said special breed,
and that's where like this could get like scorched earth, where it's like say whatever you want about me. I want my money.
Yeah,
it'd be like
I will. Yeah.
LSU,
what would you do for? What would you be said about you for $53 million?
Right.
Anything.
Yeah, because this is the thing.
Sure, I did do that.
I don't know what
care.
he could say about LSU, but he could maybe peel back the curtain on some different dynamics around the program that could make some things unattractive.
That's why I asked the question about Scott. If you want
Right.
to blame all of this at his feet, he will gladly do it. And that's why I love the man for what he's done for LSU.
Yes.
Because if he takes another arrow at this point, he's like, fine, yeah, sure. I mean, I literally love to play. Like I would do. That's where I align with Scott. I would do this for LSU,
yes.
given the opportunity.
I would
Throw
save the
me in
program.
prison to keep LSU football afloat.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. We'll see how it goes.
It takes a special man to do that.
We'll sit right here front row and watch it all unravel. That's for sure. And we appreciate all of you that join us on the ride, this fun roller coaster that is LSU football. And today we will close it out with some athletic connections, and hopefully we perform better than yesterday.
Yesterday was
that was
a
pitiful.
joke.
That was pitiful. I thought about it quite a lot yesterday after the fact.
We didn't get the connections, did we?
We didn't finish.
We didn't get connections, and we didn't. We were over.
Piss poor on
Piss poor.
The Daily Dozen. It was bad. It was bad.
It was the
on our
connections' fault.
It was well, it threw us off. Definitely. It was when you airball your first three, and then you're like, oh, now the rest of them come out wonky.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no,
Shooter, maybe not.
shooter, maybe not. Brandon Reese, I bet schools won't give coaches 10-year deals moving forward. I mean, you shouldn't,
But you had to
but you had to.
pay for play.
Pay for play. Here we go. Base on balls.
The walk.
Free pass. And
BB.
there you go.
Right.
Yep.
Scrum.
Brian Burgess.
B's in the chat.
Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all of our veterans.
That's right.
We appreciate all of our veterans.
Two
Brian
salutes
Burgess,
ready.
You and everyone else. We love you, BB. We the rest of our veterans watching or will watch, we appreciate you as well. What do we have here? We have Memphis,
Nice.
Temple, Rice, Army.
What's your reasoning?
Those are the only things that go together.
Ruck. Scrum. Maul. Rubber.
Try. Bang. Complete lawn all-star rubber.
Huh.
Complete
Lawn
game,
game.
all-star game, lawn game, rubber game.
What's a lawn game? I know the long game.
A lawn game.
What's that?
I have no idea. Is a rubber game like a rubber match?
Yeah.
I've never heard it called the rubber game. Ooh, LSU's playing in the rubber game this Sunday.
Oh. Not me. Every game's game 7.
Oh my gosh.
Live a little.
Yeah, whatever. Psychopath.
Don't call me. Nope.
I just hope this won't cost us a chance to get a big time coach before selling for.
Yeah,
coach.
terrible
That's
timing.
that's
That
the
real
fear.
dick move by BK.
That's the fear.
Like,
I'd do it if I was him too.
Nah, I
They're
wouldn't.
trying to take my money. I earned that $54 million.
You did not. You did. I want back. I want the money that we've already paid you back.
The other $50 million.
Yes.
Right here.
That should be the deal. You don't get the rest of it. You pay me back, and you can have the 53 to leave.
Not how that works.
Perfect deal. Good.
Good. Nice.
Great.
Awesome.
Grand. Trick of the day.
Celebrity mashup. Whose
Brian
disgusting
Kelly.
face is this? It's Drew Barrymore and Steve Carell.
That's
oh my
incredible.
gosh.
You ever seen anything like that?
What do you think?
It's a weird talent.
Are you talking about me identifying?
Yeah, it's odd. I don't know what it does. I don't know why.
I don't know why I can do it either.
Yeah. What else do you think you don't know about yourself?
I don't
You know?
know.
I wonder what my talent is.
This AFC team is the only franchise to have more than one player rush for over 2,000 yards in a season. The Tennessee Titans. CJ2K and Derrick Henry.
And Derrick Henry. And Vince Young.
Don't believe Vince Young rushed for 2K yards. A 4-year starter. There you go.
Pretty ball.
Pretty balls.
Just Florida? Yeah.
Yep.
He did throw an excellent spiral.
In 2010, this Western Conference big man received All-Star votes despite not playing all season due to injury and was voted an All-Star starter in 2011 even after a season-ending injury.
Shaq. Andrew Bynum.
Wow. That is, well, was he in the, he got hurt with the Bucks, huh? Oh, that's Bogut. Yeah, maybe it is Bynum. Bynum was with the Lakers at that time, I believe. I'm trying to think.
What about who's the guy that first overall pick? Greg
Oden?
Greg
No,
Oden.
I don't think it would have been him. I mean, maybe. See, one guy that this would be like. It has to be somebody huge name, right?
So
Like
Shaq.
Shaq or Yao Ming.
Oh.
Look at what's the chat saying? Johnny O'Good said Yao Ming.
Yao.
Yo.
Yao, what? How does that happen?
What?
I don't know what they're doing over there in the Western world. You have Shohei Ohtani and Yao Ming.
We're the Western world.
No.
Yeah. We're the West. Like,
Keep going west. Eventually, you'll get there.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but that's the East. That's the Eastern world. Let's do geography, actually.
There we go. The Eastern world. How do they have these superstars? They don't have tall fellas.
Story about Yao Ming?
He's made in a
It
tube.
was like a lab.
Yeah, see? Why don't we... I'd like to know... Well, I guess Tom Brady.
He cloned the dog.
Yeah, and
himself.
Mhm.
Drake May.
There's evidence is very damning.
It's not. It wouldn't be Drake May though.
Why? They're the exact same size.
There's like 7 Mays.
Yeah, well, I know. So
Like a
perfect.
million
But it's a perfect crime.
Oklahoma borders 6 states: New Mexico, Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, and
Louisiana.
Oklahoma is
China.
Oh, Colorado.
Sure.
I was just there. Yeah.
Omaha.
That's Nebraska.
Yep.
Founded in the 1970s, this
Nature
brand
Valley.
of granola bars comes in, with its crunchy variety that makes a big old mess in your lap.
It does. What a fucking disaster those are.
They taste great.
You might as well eat it with a vacuum cleaner. There's like
You just
how
open
many
that thing up.
how many of those snacks that you're like, oh, on the go, like I need a paper plate. Like I need a full dish rag.
Bib.
Yeah, like eat this in the car, like you'll have it for years. Yeah. There goes the resale
Don't eat
value.
it on the way to a meeting.
Don't you can't eat, just crumble it up. Might as well throw it in granola.
Literally.
Like with some yogurt.
Yeah. I eat it over the trash can.
Yeah, like a rat.
Yeah. Receiving backlash from fans, what famous singer played a Lannister soldier who sings a song
the little
Campfire
redhead.
in Game of Thrones? I don't know.
Ed Sheeran.
The little redhead. Movies.
He sang. That's when that thing took a turn. Right after that,
I've
kind
never
of.
seen Game of Thrones.
Well, it was good, and then it was really bad.
Yeah. Dan Trachtenberg has now directed 2 films in the Predator franchise. Predator Badlands and this 2022 film set in 1719 followed a tribe of Comanche
We are the
warriors.
West. Thank you. Seville. We're the West. Oh. We're the South.
Predator versus Alien.
I've seen that.
Prey. Prey? Well, what's the chat saying? Chat says Prey. Prey.
Just Pray is the name of it. Eat, Pray, Love.
EY.
Music. Macarena. I don't know. Hey, Macarena.
I don't know the Latin duo.
Hey.
And I'm not going to guess.
Me either.
Probably a dangerous game to guess.
Yeah, it's not my arena.
Anybody know this, huh?
What are these?
Los del Rio.
You could have said anything.
Johnny L. Goodson. I would have agreed.
Oh, kind of like that one,
Oh,
though.
Los Tigres del Norte. That's a great name.
It sounds like a...
Los Tigres.
Yeah, track them down.
CVO no closeout with Christian. Christian's not here. Christian left during the
First hour.
the break between hour 1
In
and
tears.
because he has a class. He's in a class. He is a student. So I think he is. He says he
I'm
is.
not too high on his future. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I'm sure his parents probably feel similarly.
What is his dad, a dentist? Why did he do that? I mean, he's not dumb. He is dumb.
He's not dumb.
I was thinking about
He's
him
smart.
yesterday.
Were you?
Yes.
What about him?
Like I said, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't trust Christian to be my dentist.
I was thinking like the age disparity between. I was like,
Oh.
because he does all of like the viral stuff of like
Yes.
that's him.
Yeah.
He's walking TikTok.
Yes. Brain rot.
Yeah.
Like so obviously Christian has weaseled his way into like my group of friends now.
Right.
And they all love him because they are all in these boring job or this blue collar lifestyle. So they hang around this child that acts like an idiot, and they think he's the funniest thing ever because
he's a walking meme.
Right. And so
He'll do anything for a laugh.
like yes. So like last night, like him and his roommate Luke got out of the car, and I'm driving off, and I looked at my buddy Bill, and I was like, I kid you not, I feel like I get dumber the more time I spend with them, and somehow I spend time with them. Like,
he weaseled his way into
so
your
much
life.
time. Well, they keep offering me food.
Yeah,
because they cook often, and they're always like, "No, we're cooking. You want to eat?" I'm like,
sure.
Yeah. Like the last time it was like steak and sweet potato casserole, and I was like, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great meal.
I'm in. It was a good meal.
Who cooks it? Christian?
Both of them. They both cook. Him and Luke. They cook.
Who cleans?
Not me. I just
yeah,
eat.
you just eat.
I'm just there to eat.
Is that good deal for you? But you have to put up with the like. Luke is also special.
Yes.
In his own right.
Quite the
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's my fault. I fucking hired him.
Oh, no, you've also made him worse.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, you exacerbated some of these things.
Put some values.
You did, that's for sure.
All right, Wyatt, let's do our next deal. We'll close this one out.
You're gonna ruin
she quit
Wyatt
school.
Now?
Yeah, I got one to quit school.
You did. I still can't believe that.
Get Christian to quit school. I could get Christian to quit easily.
You could get Christian to quit in a heartbeat. I mean, you got him to drop out of college with 1 semester left. Unbelievable. He had 1 semester of school left.
It's time to go to the league.
And he was like, you know what? I'm out.
I think this.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude, quit. Just quit.
I need to leave.
Exact school. Yeah. They don't even have school today. It's Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he lied to us.
He did.
I'm gonna call him right now. Let's see if he answers. Where's Christian? I'm not gonna answer it. I'm scared of how he could potentially answer, so I'm gonna keep that part away from Mike. It's made it to 2 rings. Usually that means he answers quick.
Does he?
Yeah. He must be in class.
Mm.
He must be sleeping.
He went back to bed.
Wow, he declined my call.
Before did he?
Whatever. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us here on this Tuesday morning as we continue through the week here. Get ready for LSU versus Arkansas, 11:30 a.m.
What do you think the spread is going to be?
LSU
plus
minus
2.5.
I was going to say 4.5.
3.5.
I think they're going to believe in the defense.
How'd y'all find Christian? He applied.
He did. He reached out to us.
Because he got...
he was at LSU, and he was interested in doing something. And
he wanted to work for the Reveille, or Tiger Talk, whatever that is. What's one of them. And he got rejected, so he came to us.
It was KLSU, and he got rejected.
They hired somebody that he actually worked, that he was the boss of.
It was the Reveille. Yeah. It was the Reveille.
He
was
wanted
the
to be a
boss
writer.
of in high school. They hired him and not Christian. Then Christian ended up with us.
And Christian's living his best life.
He's living his best life.
We have changed his life.
Yes.
At least like for a moment in time.
Yeah, drastically. But we say, like, my biggest thing.
So stick around.
My biggest thing is like, oh, you get to go on cool trips. Like we took you to Omaha. He took you to
sleep with me.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, y'all did share a bed in Omaha.
Oh, I'll sleep with anybody. I'm very comfortable.
I know. At one point, like when we were in the RV, I had to share a bed with Christian, and then and Lloyd slept by himself. And then all of a sudden, Lloyd just came and slept in my bed. And somehow
what are road trips for?
It's a rubber
That's right. You don't need one.
Appreciate everybody. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m.